That's not straight. Welcome to Fitness for Noobies. I'm Jay. It's something a bit different today. We're doing a live workout, so follow along. It's going to be all about your shoulders. My shoulders, quite early when I was working out, I injured this one. It's still being rehabbed, it's still getting back to where it was. So it's something that I sort of feel quite strongly about because it's really hampered me at times with things that I can do. So what we're going to do is a shoulder workout, including a full warm-up, just to make sure that you're not going to injure yourself and to keep everything nice and safe. And yeah, so let's get cracking. Follow along if you can, if you want to. We're going to be using a resistance band and we're going to be using dumbbells. So if you've got those, great. If not, you can do it without. You can always grab some water bottles or just something that weighs a bit. And you'll be able to follow along just fine. But as I say, you're starting off with a body weight warm up anyway. So let's go. Excuse the boxes. Ignore the background, the boxes. Right, so what we're going to start with is what's called a YTWL. So you'll see from the things that I'm doing with my arms why they're called that, and it's to warm up each different muscle in your shoulder. And it is body weight. You can add dumbbells if you want to, but it's going to be difficult enough without. If you want to though, that's great. Okay, so first off, lie down on a bench. You can do it on the floor as well, but on a bench, have your arms out in a Y like this, and just from the floor, raise them up. 1. You don't have to raise them too high, just high enough to where you feel it. What's that, about 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10. So move on to the T, which is, as you can probably guess, like this. Again, so you're trying to pinch your shoulder blades back as we went over in the reverse fly. Pinch your shoulder blades back, and again, after a few of these, you will start feeling it. So that's your T. Then the W. As you can guess, again, trying to pinch your shoulder blades back at the top. Always try and get your thumbs pointing towards the ceiling. That way, your shoulder is externally rotated, and your rotator cuff will thank you for that. We'll come on to the rotator. And then the L, make L's with your arms. So fingers round and up. Okay, so that is one set. So 10 Y's, 10 T's, 10 W's, 10 L's. That's one set. We're going to do 3 sets of those before we move on to anything else. So generally, the Y targets your front delt, the T, your side delt, W, your rear delt, and the L is all of it. So, and including your rotator cuff as well. It's an awesome warm-up, and you can actually use it as just even a strength exercise, but it really does help to get everything warmed up, get everything moving. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling that already. So, set 2, let's go. So back to Y's. And now T. W. 3 sets of these is tough. And finally, the L. Goodness me. So for a warm-up, that is not all that easy. Oh, I better put my my timer on. Yes, I'm already breathing a bit heavy. I'm not the fittest guy in the world, but it really does help take care of your shoulders. I think you might find you might not be able to lift as heavy if you're doing a full 3-set warm-up of these when you come to pick up the dumbbells, but you're not going to hurt yourself, and that is the most important thing, which especially with shoulders, because if one goes, you are in big trouble. So I'm just going to get a quick drink and then we'll finish off the set. Okay, third and thankfully final set. Y's. T's. Remember, pinch those shoulders back at the top. Thumbs pointing up as much as possible. Oh, that one's the killer for me. W's, nearly there, stay with me. And finally, the L. Okay. Yes, thankfully, that's the end of those. So, next up, we're going to move on to the rotator cuff, which is a very small group of muscles in your shoulder. Very small, but incredibly, incredibly important to warm up and to cool down and to stretch when you're finished. So, Let's get cracking with those. I'll move the camera, you get a drink, and I'll see you in a sec. Oh, that's a bit wonky. That's still wonky. There we go, that looks about right. Right, so I've got my, feel like the Hulk, you'll work out like the Hulk. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got a few different resistance bands. The blue is the one I use. This one says 20 pounds. This is what I use for this exercise. Am I going to fit in the camera actually? So the different, for a resistance, for this kind of workout, a rotator cuff workout, we're not trying to shift huge amounts of weight. That is not what we do. We're just warming up the rotator cuff to help us stay clear of injury. So just attach it to something secure. And all we're going to do is you're going to hold it till it starts to tighten. Cross your body like this. Do not move anything in your body other than your hand. So your hand is going to pull across to here and back. It shouldn't be super difficult, just until good amount of resistance, and you should feel it in your shoulder. So that's 10. Again, we're going to do 3 sets of those on each side. Let me just move that over. So I'll face away from you. I'm not being rude, but just to do my left arm. So you might be able to see in the mirror, hopefully, the front. Oh, look at me. I look a right mess. Okay, so arm across, and then just bring it out and back. Remember, when your arm's on its way back, don't just let it yank you back. You control the band all the way. So we're going to be going for sets of 10 again. I think that's 10. Might have been 9. Not sure. But yeah, so that's what we're doing there. About a minute rest in between. Across your stomach until you start to feel the resistance, and then just out and back. Controlled, so you control it out until you really start to feel you can't go much further. Don't move anything else, not your shoulders, not your hips, not nothing, just this. So it's just your rotator cuff working and warming up. You can, if you want to, as you go on in the sets, come a little bit further out to work it a bit harder. Because the stronger you can make your rotator cuff, the better. Okay, that's 10. And try and always do the same sort of, with a resistance band it's quite difficult, but try and keep the same sort of resistance on each side. So if you went a bit harder on your right side, go a little bit harder on your left as well. and 10. So again, about a minute's rest, but because we're doing right and left, my right has probably been about a minute by now, so you don't actually have to rest too long and stand around not doing anything, because that's not particularly entertaining for you either, is it? Okay, so last set of this. You might find as well, even though you're keeping your elbow in, that you can go a bit further with your arm as you go on through the sets and through the reps. That's good. That's what should be happening. Then if that's the case, also be careful of the amount of resistance, the amount of pulling this, because if you're on a tighter one and you're further away, and then you're trying to push your hand further, be careful. Okay, so that's your 3 sets of 10 of those. Now, one more rotator cuff exercise. Just check the camera again. Okay, similar sort of thing, but what we're doing here is, so wait, get the, excuse me, put my teeth in, hold your resistance band like so, so just when it's starting to tighten here, and hold it out in front of you, so your hand should be like that, about a 90-degree angle, again, elbow tight to your ribs, and from here, we're going to step out, holding the resistance band exactly where it is, and just gently control it back. Then we step back. Step out, gently control it back. You will start to feel these, especially after the last one as well. Step out, control. Takes some getting used to sometimes, this one, and let that drift back. Right, so we're just going to do 5 there, because we have done a lot of warming up of our rotator cuffs already, and that starts to hurt. So always make sure on the other side as well, so you can look at my butt for this bit, look at you, step out, control back. Step out. Okay, so that's 5 on the other side as well. We're going to do 3 sets of those again, because there is a progression for this one. Obviously, there's always progression with the strength of your resistance band. So this one for me is, it says 20 pounds. There is a 40 there, that's a 10. And there's a black one as well, which is 50. But I'd advise, especially early on, always err on the side of lower resistance. If you feel like you can move her, great, be careful. So, now, with the same strength band, from here, just first off do a step out and let it come back. If you feel like you can do more, big step and let it come back. Again, controlling it, always controlling it on the way back. Big step. And you can even make it into a jump If you want to, then be careful. And you'll feel the building up of strength in here. It's all in. Can you hold the band there without it coming across as you jump out? That's where all the rotator cuff comes in. So, 2 sets. We'll do 1 more set and then we'll move on to the dumbbells. So this, you probably don't have to do all of these exercises every time you want to do a shoulder workout. If you're just doing front raises, for example, or you're just working your front delts with your shoulders, you do some rotator cuff work and maybe just the Ys when you're doing the YTWL. But I like to be very, very careful, and it's still not 100% right, but I had to drop all the raises and I just did the resistance band work and the YTWLs for a long time. That helped it get better gradually. So they're also really good rehab exercises as well. So let's get this last set done and then we can move on to throwing some weight around. I don't know if you can still see me. I'm over here. And then on the last one, step out and hold for as long as you can, and then control the band back. Oh, they're woken up, aren't they? So, keep going, nearly there. I will tidy the gym up next time. This was a bit of a spur of the moment thing. In fact, I'll get Sam to do it. How many is that? 4? Right, this one, jump out and hold. All right, so you should be nice and warmed up now. You're safe to go ahead and pick up the dumbbells. So let's do that. Right, where do we think? Probably somewhere like that. Something like that. Just get my drink, 1 sec. Okay, so for every exercise really, especially with shoulders, I'd always advise to use a lighter weight on your first set. It helps, again, I know we've already warmed up, but it just sort of finishes off your warm up and gets you ready for your full sets. With shoulders, again, don't try and do more than is comfortable. You obviously want to work them out and and feel the burn, I suppose, as it was. But always I would suggest err on the side of caution. So I'm going to start off with 7.5s. That's 7.5 kilos, so that's about 20 pounds, give or take. No. Yeah, something like that, maybe 18, hang on, this will tell me. Probably about 17, 18 pounds. That's what I'll start off to do my warm-up set with. So, front raises. This is for your front delt. So, feet about shoulder width apart, and you're just going to bring, you can either do this one at a time or you can do them together if you feel like you can, or again, to save time. So, just bring the weight up to about shoulder level, there. I always try and keep my hand externally rotated. So, you might see people do them like this. That's generally okay, but for me, I like to be on the safe side because of my rotator cuff injury. And six, keep my arm this way so that it's slightly easier on my rotator cuff. Again, however you want to do them and works for you and is safe, that's absolutely fine. What's that, about 11? 12. Okay. Excuse me. So I bring them up to about roughly in line with my nose and about shoulder level. Anything above shoulder level, you're going to be getting your traps involved as well, which is not what we're doing here. We're going to do some shrugs later on, but for now, keep it up shoulder level and back down. Your arm doesn't have to be bolt straight, it can be slightly bent. And as I say, however's comfortable for you with your hand, listen to your own body and it won't lie to you. So, I started off on 7.5, warm up, felt pretty comfortable. I'm going to move up to 10s now, which is about 22 pounds. My shoulders are not my strongest point, so don't laugh at me. But I'm being very careful with moving up in weight because I don't want to injure them again. If you can do more, great. If you do less, great. You're just competing with yourself. Okay, so I'll turn this way this time, and I'm going to do both at the same time. Make sure you've got a nice tight core as well. You're nice and solid, and you're controlling on the way up and on the way down. Don't just drop them. Keep hold of them all the way up, all the way down. Okay. So, that was harder. And doing 2 at a time, sometimes you'll find 2 at a time easier, sometimes you'll find it harder. I don't know why that is, it's weird. But another thing, same with things like bicep curls, try not to use momentum. So you don't want to be lift and down like this. Even a slight sort of, so you get them up, down, and then you swing them back up. You don't want to swing them back up. You're going to be getting your back involved. When you do that, this is not for your back. What the earth is that? Cat hair or something like that. You don't want to be swinging. So you lift, bring them down, and just take a split second to pause. Tight core will help you to stop with the swinging. Excuse me, I'm getting sick. Okay, this time we'll go one at a time. On this one, it is very, very, very easy to swing and use the momentum of the other one coming down to lift the next one. Try and avoid that. What's that? 6, 6. And if you're vain, like Sam, who wanted all these mirrors in the gym, check out your front delts popping when you do these. Is that 12 or 11? I don't care. Now in terms of sets and reps, I'm just going to do 3 sets of 3 working sets, so we don't count the warm-up. And I'm just going to do 3 sets of 12. Listen to your body. If you can't get to 12, do as many as you can. I have started recently going to heavier weights on certain exercises and only getting to 8, so that next time I can do 9. Time after that, 10. But at the moment with my shoulders, I'm doing lighter reps, lighter weights for more reps. I find it's just safe. It's safe for me. Listen to your body. I keep saying that, but listen, because it'll only tell you the truth. I'm a cheese machine, aren't I? Love it. Right. So we'll do one more set of front raises for your front delts, then we'll move on to the sides. Just waiting for my heart rate to come down, so I've got a bit of a dodgy ticker. And I'm probably talking too much as well. Right, so last set of front raises. Should we go one at a time or 2? Let's do 2. I found that a bit harder. Okay. Oh, well done with those. I noticed, I don't know if you did, my shoulders were shrugging a bit on that one because I found it difficult. Can happen. Again, that's your traps getting involved to try and help you up. Try and avoid it. If you can't, don't worry. Just work on it, basically. So I think that what that means to me is those are the sets that I normally do, but I don't often do the full warm-up. So I think maybe I was a little bit weaker. Maybe I was conscious about talking. So yeah, learn from what you've done. Again, a mirror is useful to check your form, or have someone else check your form as well. If you've got someone else who goes to the gym, who likes to lift, get them to check your form. Okay, so next up, side raises. Oh, get yourself a drink. Okay, so with side raises, I'm starting on a 5. Now 5 is probably about 11, 12 pounds. The reason for that is, for me, they're not as strong as my front delts. Yours may be, I don't know. But what you'll notice is if you do side raises after front raises, you won't be able to do as much or as many or as heavy because your front delts get involved in this one as well. So after you've done a few sets of these, your front delts should hopefully be screaming at you because effectively you've probably done about 8 sets on your front delts. So just again, be careful, start conservative. This is just a warm up, this one. So again, same sort of position to start. Arms down by your sides, same again. And you're just going to lift up to the sides. Start off, again, conservatively. So you want the tops of your arms, so where like your biceps, triceps are, they want to be going out directly to the side. Your hands, my hands again, I try and turn them so my thumbs are pointing up. And that's probably about 12. So again, with your thumbs, you will see some people, let's just use these for now. You will see some people straight arms, just to the sides like that. You'll see people with bent arms to the sides. You'll see people turn their hands like that, which I absolutely hate. That's internal rotation. That's asking your rotator cuff to explode. So I turn my hands generally so my thumbs are pointed up. It's just that is more comfortable for me. Do whatever is comfortable for you. In terms of arm position, lift up to the side and just feel your middle delt there. If you can feel that, tightening up, flexing, that's right, that's where you need to be. You will see front delts involved as well. That's unavoidable. So again, just be careful. So I'm going to move up to 7.5s, which is about, I don't know, 17, 18, something like that. Again, tight core, and let's go. Okay, so that's your first proper set of. Don't go above shoulder level. I actually tend to go even a bit below shoulder level. Don't have your elbow go above your shoulder. So always my traps want to get involved. They're like sand, they just like to butt their way in and get involved in things that have got nothing to do with them. So yeah, try and keep your elbows below shoulder level and try and keep your traps out of it. So before you start, just try and keep your shoulders nice and low and keep them low for the whole thing. That will hopefully eliminate your traps barging their way in. But it isn't the worst thing in the world if they do, if they do get involved to a degree. As long as your side delts are working, that's what we're after. Okay, set 2. Let's go. Form check. Oh, my shoulders are burning. Oh. Yeah, that's working. I don't know about you, but there are certain muscles that when I work them out, I actually enjoy. The triceps is one for me, and shoulders probably to a lesser degree. And then by the same token, I despise the feeling of my core. Just throw up and just horrible. But shoulders, and anything really, just try and embrace it. When it burns, try to enjoy that feeling. You might have to force yourself. It will allow you to go a little bit harder, work them harder, and make them bigger and make them stronger. Oh. Having fun? It should be fun. That also comes in with the enjoying the feeling of the burn. If you do, you can work out with a smile on your face. It will be a lot more effective. Right, last set, side delts. Let's go. Try and keep it to about a minute. I know I've been yakking, but between sets, try and keep it to about a minute. Are your shoulders down? Are your elbows below your shoulders? If that's all a yes, well done. So I think, if I counted right, I did a couple more then. That's something I like to do if I feel like I can. On my last set, just go a little bit further than you did on your previous two sets. It will just push your muscle to the last little drop of effort that it has. And obviously with muscles, and I'm sure you know this, the feeling of pain, the feeling of burn is all the little tiny tears that you have in your muscles from working them out. So when they grow back, when they heal, which stretching helps with, rest, eating well, they grow back stronger and bigger. So the more you can tear them and the more you can put into them when you're working out, the bigger and stronger they will grow back. Obviously, there is a line there of overtraining, of pushing too far. You will learn where your limits are. So you'll learn where your limit is, you'll learn where your stretch limit is, and then do not go past that. Again, it just comes with time and experience. I've been doing this only about a year, so by no means am I an expert, but it's all trial. I would say trial and error, but try not to do the error. So learning where your limits are, learning to push them, push past them when it's safe, and you learn from that. So, rear delts. I think I might have to adjust the camera slightly. I might have to lean down. Okay, so rear delts. This is the backs of your shoulders. It'll also work your upper back. We've done a video on this, the without weight, the bent over reverse fly. So this time we're going to pick up weights. I'm going to start with a 5 kilogram, which is about 11, 12 pounds, something like that. This is the warm-up set. So grab whatever's comfortable for you and let's get cracking. I don't need to fall at your feet because you put me to the bone. I don't know the word. Okay, so hinging at the hips. We're not bending. We're not like this. We're up straight. Shoulders are neutral and hinge. Okay, you can bend your legs slightly if you need to. The closer you can get to 90 degrees on your hinge, the better. Arms straight down. Again, shoulders stay neutral. Don't let your shoulders do this. Keep them neutral. And then back. 1. Pinch your shoulder blades back at the top. Try and get them to touch. Oh, okay. So, that's your warm-up set. I think for me, I don't think I can do 7.5 with those. So I'm going to go to what am I going to go to? I think I'll go to about a 7 or a 6 or whatever that is. So if you don't have micro loading, or you have only a certain amount of dumbbells or weights or resistance bands, that's absolutely fine. Change the number of reps that you do. So if you have a 5 and a 7.5, but you don't think you can do 12 on a 7.5, do 8. Do 8. Do 8 until it's comfortable to go to 9, and do it that way. And that will absolutely work. By the time you can do 3 sets of 12 on a 7.5, and you can do that a few times, maybe go to 4 sets of 8 after that. But then you can move up to say 10 if that's your next one. Again, just be careful. If you can't get to 3 sets of 8, do 3 sets of 6. Just listen to what your body's telling you, and you will get stronger. There's no doubt. Okay, so let's go for our first working set of reverse flies. Okay, remember, hinged over, shoulders neutral, and then shoulders back at the top. Alright. So how was that? Did you get to what you wanted to? Did you feel like you can do more? Always try and keep a little bit in the tank on your first set, even your second set, and then on your third set, go for it. If you can go past 12, perfect. That's what I'm going to try and do. So that was tough. Not too tough, but it'll get harder. So I'll try and keep it to a minute this time. I can't remember what time we were on. Give it about 20 seconds and we'll go again. Let's go. Hinged over, shoulders neutral. make that noise at the end. It annoys me. Hang on, I just need to change my song. Put Boyzone. Bryan Adams. Summer of '69. Real music. Okay, so that's 2 sets. Set number 3 in about 15 seconds. Try to go past whatever you did on the first 2 sets if you can. Try and get to failure, to where you're going to drop the dumbbells. Don't drop them on your feet. Please, please don't drop them on your feet. But just give it some shit. Ready? Let's go. Oh, far out. Oh. Okay, I did about 13 then, so I absolutely could not have done any more. And if you can say that as well, then you've done exactly what you need to do. So, last up, as it's pretty much your shoulders, is shrugs. Because they do get neglected, I think, because it's a fairly small muscle group. It's not one you really think of. It's your traps. So, with shrugs, you'll probably be able to go quite heavy, but I think I'll go with, what? I'll go with like 16 kilograms. It's about 35 pounds, something like that each. Just to be able to show easily what it is that shrugs are. So I think with a warm-up, I'm not going to do a warm-up set for these because my traps are already pretty warm. So grab a fairly heavy set of dumbbells. Okay, just be careful picking them up because they're going to be the heaviest that you've used so far. And again, tight core, shoulders neutral, and all we're going to do is lift the shoulders slowly and control back down. Okay, and it's as simple as that. You might feel that you can go heavier, I know I can, but just for now, showing you what to do. It's not difficult. I'm just going to stick with these because I feel like there's a pretty good old burn of the shoulders, and it's almost a bit of a reward, just a nice, easier exercise to finish off on, and you deserve it. You've worked your ass off. You have shoulders like this any day. You're not, but keep working, and one day you will have. I might as well. We'll see. Oh. Ready? Let's go. Shoulder, core tight, feet shoulder width apart. Go. I've got Snow Patrol on my headphones. Forget what we're told before we get too old. Show me a... Oh. Okay, set 2. Give it a minute. And this last one, this is the last lifting we're going to be doing. The last one, see how many you can do safely. If you get to 12 and you think, I can keep going, see if you can get to 20. Just a nice little finisher. What I haven't done today is the overhead press, pushing with a barbell or with a dumbbell. For 2 reasons. 1, my ceiling is not really high enough. I can probably just about get a dumbbell up there. So I normally do them sitting down and use the rack. We'll do that another day, but that is a fantastic all-around shoulder exercise. So we will come on to that another day. Pick them up. All that I am. Shoulders neutral. Feet shoulder width apart. Tight core. Go. Make sure you're keeping your arm nice and straight as well, so you're not tempted to yank with your elbows. Oh, that's it for me. If you're still going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Till you hit your absolute limit. And when you're done, put them down. And a big pat on the back. That is, should be a very effective shoulder routine. What on earth is this rubbish? Bohemian Rhapsody, great cool down song. Okay, so while you're standing up, bring an arm across your chest. Oh, okay, that's tight. Arm across your chest and pull it in at the elbow with your other wrist. So breathe into the stretch. And try to pull it a little bit further if you can. My hands are all shaky. Okay, shake that one out. Bring the other arm across. Oh, tickling myself. Okay, so find yourself a door frame. I'll do it with the rack. Look at this state of this gym. Oh. Okay, so get rid of my resistance band. one arm at a time. So about level with it, and it's as if you're trying to walk through the door, but your hand won't let you. So you're pushing into the door frame. You should feel it in your shoulder here. Not too hard, just enough. You can even hold the other side gently and lean in. That'll maybe help put a little bit more weight on the shoulder. Oh, God, that feels good. Damn. Okay, and then the other side. Show you from the other side. So lean a little bit in. Wish I'd never been born alone. Okay. Then, with the door frame again, I really do like this one. This is a good one as well if you, this will also make your chest and your biceps if you've been doing a full upper body routine. So hold on to both sides of the door frame, feet behind it, and lean through, hang on, lean through to where, oh, not like that. So you're holding on to the door frame, or whatever you can. You'll feel this all across your chest, the front of your shoulders and your biceps. Be careful, don't let go. You'll be flat on your face with a broken nose, and I don't want anyone to get me in trouble. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and finally, oh, hang on, trying not to turn the camera off. Okay. So, lie on your side, like so, with your shoulder that's on the floor slightly out in front of you. Arm 90 degrees, so 90 degrees to your body here, 90 degrees there. Gently, very gently, push down on your wrist, keeping your arm at 90. Very, 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 very gentle. And it won't take long before you feel it. This is a rotator cuff stretch. Absolutely essential after every shoulder workout. So then take a big breath. And as you breathe out, try and push just a little bit further. So about 20-30 seconds for each of these stretches is perfect. If you want to go longer, there's no harm in going longer. Oh, and gently, gently, gently let it come back up. Other side. Okay, so 90 and 90 there, and push ever so gently down. Okay, so thanks for joining me on this shoulder workout. Hopefully you felt a good burn all over. We'll be doing more of these in the future. which is more sort of intermediate stuff. And we'll also obviously be carrying on with the beginner stuff as well. But look after your shoulders, that's very important. Please like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you later. Cheers.